Today's game features Angel Tribal, cycling tokens, mill theft, and more tokens. And we've recorded the opening hands! Huzzah! While they're on the screen, if you'd like to play along, leave your predictions of who will win in the comments below. Now if you're ready, let's begin. Nathan starts us off with a swamp into bauble and passes. Stoic plays a desert of the fervent and passes. Dan plays an island and passes. I play a forest and pass. Nathan plays a plains and passes. Stoic plays an exotic orchard. He casts tectonic reformation and passes. Dan plays a swamp. He casts fathom feeder and passes. I play a forest and pass. In my end step, Nathan cracks his bauble for a plains. Nathan plays Temple of Silence and passes while he scries to the top. Stoic plays Prairie Stream and passes.
Oh, I've done a bad thing. What have you done? I kept a 2-land hand. They've got nothing. If I attack you for 1, you exile the top card of your library.
I want the top card. So, yeah, I just sort of like it.
What does it sound sort of special?
Exile type creatures control gains life to its power.
Power. Did you shoot or something to the top?
No, I scried it. I know.
Yeah, so I was going to ingest
No,
it.
not on top, okay.
Dan gains 1 and passes. I play Crag Crown Pathway. I cast Wood Elves, getting a forest and pass. Nathan shocks in Blood Crypt. He casts Basandra, Battle Seraph, and passes the turn. Stoic casts Windfall. We discard our hands and each draw 7. He then plays Shivan Reef and casts Soul Ring into Azoria's Signet and passes. Dan plays a swamp. He casts Mindstone and passes. I play a mountain and cast Grumgully. I attack Stoic for 1 and cast Rampant Growth, passing the turn while I go get a forest. Nathan plays a plains. He casts Mother of Runes and brings out Kaalia of the Vast. He passes the turn. Stoic plays an island. He casts Gavi and then Chasm Skulker. He cycles Desert of the Mindful for free, creating some super cute cat dinos and putting a counter onto Chasm Skulker. He passes the turn. Dan plays a swamp. Dan casts Hostage Taker and takes Nathan's mum out for a good night. He passes. I play a mountain and cast Domri, Anarch of Bolus. Nathan is out for revenge, so I feel safe enough to leave Kaalia alone. I make mana with Domri and cast Cultivator of Blades. I bring her in with 3 counters and pass the turn. Nathan plays a mountain. He swings Kaalia at Stoic, with the trigger bringing in Anya, Merciless Archangel, also attacking him. Stoic takes 6. Nathan then casts Austere Command, choosing creatures CMC 3 or less and artifacts. Stoic counters it with Fierce Guardianship. Nathan passes the turn. Stoic plays Reliquary Tower. He casts Riel the Everwise. He cycles Battlefield Forge thanks to Tectonic Reformation. Triggers ensue. His Chasm Skulker gets 3 counters, Riel draws an extra card, and Gavi makes another Dino Cat. He casts Teferi's Ageless Insight and passes.
And now I'm safe, the mother is there. The mother's milk, suckle at her teat. Sorry. That's weird. I've got a brain.
Part for Dan.
That'll be their intro, suckle at the mother's milk.
Dan casts Circu, Dimir Lobotomist, and passes the turn. I cast Animation Module. I cast Pride Malkin, who enters with a counter thanks to Grumgully, and put a counter on Wood Elves with the ETB.
So I have a trigger when the counter went on a creature for the animation module, and I'm going to pay 1 to make a servo, and I'm going to, that enters with a counter on it.
That's a nice servo.
It enters with a counter on it, which triggers the animation module again. So I'll pay 2 more and just make that into 3 servos with +1 counters on it.
That triggers me as well.
Okay,
Yeah. So what, 3 servos with a 1/1 counter?
that's right.
I move to combat and swing Cultivator, Wood Elves and Grumgully all at Nathan. The Cultivator trigger gives Grumgully and Wood Elves +4/+4. Nathan blocks the Cultivator with Basandra. They trade and Nathan takes 13. Had I remembered the Domri buff, he would have taken an additional 5. I downtick Domri and have my 6/6 Wood Elves fight Kaalia. I pass the turn. Nathan plays a Plains. He casts Wrath of God. Stoic responds by cycling another land. He draws 3 cards thanks to Riel and Teferi's Insight, and puts 3 more counters onto Chasm Skulker, and he would have created another Dino Cat. The Wrath then resolves, and Stoic gets 7 squids with Island Walk, which he represents with tentacles. Nathan passes the turn. Stoic casts Anointed Procession. He casts Min, Wily Illusionist. He moves to combat and attacks Nathan with his squid tentacles. Nathan takes 7 and Stoic passes the turn. Dan casts Thief of Sanity. He sacks his Mind Stone to draw and plays the command tower he just drew. He passes the turn. I uptick Domri, adding mana to recast Grumgully. I then cast Krenko, Tin Street Kingpin, and pass the turn. Nathan recasts Kaalia and passes the turn. Stoic casts Divine Visitation. He cycles Reconnaissance Mission. In response, Nathan desparks Divine Visitation. Stoic gets 2 illusion tokens. He casts Impact Tremors. He moves to combat and attacks Nathan with all 7 squids. Nathan blocks 1 with Kaalia and takes 6. Stoic passes the turn. Dan plays an island. He casts Sire of Stagnation. He moves to combat and attacks Stoic with Thief of Sanity. Dan keeps 1 of Stoic's cards in exile and passes the turn. I play a forest, triggering Sire of Stagnation. I move to combat and attack Nathan with Krenko, who gets a counter and makes 4 goblins, all with +1 counters. I pay 4 of the 5 animation module triggers and make 4 servos with +1 counters on them. I uptick Domri and make mana to cast Michaeloth. As it enters, it devours 4 servos, giving him 9 total counters. I pass the turn. Nathan casts Soul Ring. He plays Dragonskull Summit. He attacks Stoic with Kaalia, and with her trigger, puts Rhea, Dawnbringer, into play, also attacking Stoic. Stoic takes 6. Nathan then casts Rakdos, Lord of Riots. He passes the turn. Stoic recasts Gavi. He cycles an island, making 2 Dino Cats and 2 illusions, and the rest of us take 5 from Impact Tremors. He moves to combat and sends 2 illusions at Nathan, and 6 Island Walk tentacles at Dan. Dan takes 6. Nathan blocks with Rakdos and dies, while Stoic puts out a Commander Sphere with Min's trigger. Stoic passes the turn. Dan plays a Swamp. He attacks me for 2 with Thief of Sanity and keeps a card in exile.
Francis could talk about
Yeah.
that and be like,
He casts All of Dust with Happy Dad Squeals. Stoic responds by sacrificing his commander sphere to draw 2 cards, making 2 Dino Cats and 2 illusions. Dan and I take 4 from impact tremors. All is dust resolves and we sack all coloured permanents. Stoic has only an Adir Kraken to put into play with the min triggers. Dan passes the turn.
Grumgully doesn't seem that good when you got to pay 7 for it.
I'm in the same boat. I'm on 9 now to play mine.
I guess he didn't play a land.
I shortcut by playing Fertile Footsteps and Search for Tomorrow, which both get untapped lands. I'd then use them to cast Oakhame Adversary. I pass the turn, while I search up the 2 lands, exile 4 cards, and Dan draws 4. Stoic pays the 1 to make a tentacle token. He casts Asperia, Supreme Judge. He plays an island, triggering Sire of Stagnation. Stoic casts Clear the Mind and passes the turn while he shuffles his graveyard into his library. Dan casts Stolen Goods, targeting Stoic. It hits Mad Ratter.
That's going to be easy to activate with the Sire of Sanctimation.
Yeah. Oh, you got some rats now, Dan?
Well, we'll see if I've got to discard down my hand a bit actually, to be fair.
He passes while he discards about 20 cards.
You've got some good, you've got absolute gas. Absolute gas. Nothing but gas.
What's going on?
I'm attacking you with 2/3 Death Toucher.
What bullshit this game.
When it deals combat damage to a player, I get to draw a card.
Oh. Okay, I don't have a rat here, you haven't played a land, have you?
No.
Oh,
I'm not doing that.
2 mana, yeah? 2 damage.
Get better.
Land, more land, more land.
I cast Beanstalk Giant and pass the turn. Stoic pays for another tentacle and casts Dream Trawler. He moves to combat and attacks Dan with Asperia. Dan responds by exiling it with Reality Shift. Stoic passes the turn. Dan plays Underground River. He casts Artisan of Kozilek and returns Lord of the Void to the battlefield. Dan passes the turn.
You've not made any rats yet.
No. I hate it all.
It better be a land.
Don't give her any more cards. He's ready. Miles ahead now.
Oh, shut up. You've got a Dream Trawler out.
Yeah, shut up.
I've only got a card of Annihilator.
Yeah, don't attack you with Oakhame Adversary. Block it with.
Yeah, I'll block it, Maverick.
Yeah.
2/2, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't die, because you wanted to die. I just didn't want you drawing a card, because obviously we've just got land in your hand.
I don't know what would give you that impression. I'm gonna play it into
Just play the fucking land!
But I've got too many choices.
Are they all forests?
Stoic goes straight to combat and attacks me with the Dream Trawler. He draws and gains 5, while I lose 5. He passes the turn. Dan attacks Stoic with Lord of the Void and Artisan of Kozilek. Stoic sacks 2 tentacles to the Annihilator trigger and blocks with the 3rd. He takes 7. With the Lord of the Void trigger, Dan takes Herald of the Forgotten. Dan casts Mind Leech Mass.
I will actually counterspell that.
In response, I will actually counter score that.
Okay, yeah.
So you lose 2 life.
And you lose 2 life.
Dan passes the turn. I play Khan's Bastion. I cast Bloodsport Thrinax and sacrifice my Oakhame adversary to the Devour trigger, so it enters with 2 counters on. I then pay for 7 servos, each with 3 +1/+1 counters on, and pass the turn. Stoic pays for another tentacle. Stoic casts Spirit Cairn. He cycles Desert of the Mindful and pays for a spirit token, but not the tentacle. Stoic swings at me for 6 with the Dream Trawler, gaining 6 and drawing a card, while I lose 6. He pays for the tentacle trigger. He then casts Tectonic Reformation and passes the turn. Dan plays a swamp. He casts Soul Ring.
1, 2.
To be fair, it was quite a good board state, really. And then they all died. And then you got quite a good board state, and then they all died. And then you got quite a good board state, and they all died.
Alright.
That's what I'm expecting to go again.
We've got Curse of the Swine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh. So,
These 3, yeah.
Yeah,
Hang on, I think
you
it's
might have a
Paris as
response.
well.
Stoic discards Eternal Dragon to make Dream Trawler hexproof. Then the rest get turned into boars. Dan goes to combat and attacks Stoic with Lord of the Void, Artisan of Kozilek, Mindleech Mass, and Herald of the Forgotten. Stoic sacks his manifest token and a boar to the Annihilator trigger. He blocks with the tentacle and boar and takes 18 damage. In response to the Mindleech Mass trigger, Stoic discards his Seagate Restoration to the Dream Trawler to prevent Dan from getting it. Dan's Lord of the Void hits no creatures. Dan casts Nightveil Spectre and passes the turn.
You're at 24 life.
Yeah.
You got 2 blockers.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Me?
Yeah, you're dead on board.
What?
Yeah.
I got 7.
I don't care, I just don't want him to have a good game, to be honest.
Right.
it's been a really good day.
He's just proliferated with his Cards Bastion.
That's why I played it last time.
That's hilarious.
I make 6 more servos. I attack Dan with 7 5/5 servos and attack Stoic with my 3 boars. Dan blocks and kills 1 servo, but still dies. Stoic blocks a boar with a tentacle. I pass the turn. Stoic begins digging for a board wipe. He cycles a Lonely Sandbar. He cycles Rugged Prairie. He cycles a mountain. He casts Wizard Class and levels it to draw 2 cards. He goes to combat and attacks me with Dream Trawler, which after drawing another card is hitting for 11. This should have been 9 by my count, but it makes no difference. He passes the turn, and I realise my newer servos wouldn't have had counters because Grumgully had been turned into a boar. I proliferate with Khan's Bastion. Since I didn't have enough pig power to bore him to death, I opt to swing for 36 with my 6/6/6 servos. Successfully slaying Stoic and stealing satisfyingly sweet success.
I'm going to pay.
When I first saw Khan's Bastion, I thought, oh, that card's going to be amazing.
It was.
The more I play it, the
Yeah.
more I think,
It's just only very specifically good, even in proliferate decks.
still.
To make a servo, and I'm going
Oh.
that enters with a counter on it.
That's a nice servo.